Sweat the small stuff, because in the end, all of those incremental learnings and incidental experiences are worth way more than the sum of their parts. Experiments, failures, and experiences all become resources that you can call on. That's why meetings with senior executives become easier to navigate, or why you become a better presenter over time. When you do things, you learn from them. And over time, those learnings work together to unlock bigger opportunities, career jumps, personal breakthroughs, or even landing that dream client. Sure, some people get lucky. They hit a home run off the first ball, and that can feel like they found a shortcut, leaving you behind. But guess what? Without the hard yards, they won't be able to reflect on what worked and why. And on the next pitch, it's a swing and a miss. Look, if you stop listening right here, just remember this: the increment is the way. Now, if you're anything like me, your social feeds are full of internet gurus offering shortcuts and hacks to extend your business, unlock massive progress, or close more deals than you can possibly handle. And let's face it, I've made myself an easy target. That's right, I'm deep into the hot mess that is starting my own enterprise. I'm clicking through, I'm downloading the lead magnet, and I'm making sure that the barrier to entry for my inbox is worryingly low. One of the things we're looking at today is the fact that those shortcuts, frameworks, and productivity strategies do work, but they're also illusionary because they require the right conditions and the baseline of previous experience to leverage their potential. In most cases, what's being offered is a mountain of experience that's been distilled into a process that you can purchase and leverage. But real traction still requires you to bring the right incremental learnings to the table. Russell Brunson, for example, is a huge advocate of funnel hacking, clicking on people's ads to learn from the journey they've created for their customers. He's even built a business empire around the idea, and today, ClickFunnels offer excellent training on how to launch your first sales funnel within 5 days. Ultimately, the training is a sales pitch, which they are refreshingly transparent about, but they put a lot of value on the table for free. One of the quick wins the training will help you execute is building a landing page that uses content and copy to motivate users into completing an action, buying something, booking a call, things like that. ClickFunnels do an excellent job of simplifying the process, but you still need to build the muscle memory the creative side of the process requires, despite the ways they've dramatically lowered the barrier to entry. The simplest funnel might look like the one I'm about to show you. For this example, let's say you're just trying to build an email list and you've created a PDF one-pager as a lead magnet. This really is as simple as it gets, and there's a lot going on. There's no way around the fact that you need to be good enough at a lot of things: content, design, awareness of social media best practices, hosting providers, and a carefully designed PDF, and an email provider, just to name a few. The hack can give you the format, but you still need to apply the time and patience to leverage results. Now, Brunson himself acknowledges that your first funnel will likely feel like a flop. And even though the process is simple and clearly works, it asks you to bring plenty to the table in advance. People who can apply the process quickly and powerfully are those who can apply a myriad of incremental learnings forged from earlier experiences. Now, some people get to grips with these things with sickening ease. Consider what they've done in the past. Have they launched an earlier business idea? Are they coming from a marketing background? Are they practiced in social media? Perhaps they're running their own personal website or blog. If yes, they are coming with a toolkit of ready-made increments that they can reapply in this new context. So let's zoom out for a moment and consider a macro example like the Apollo 11 moon landing. Think about Armstrong stepping off the ladder for the very first time. The world witnessed a moment of massive progress, which changed everybody's relationship with the possible. But it was the result of decades of research and millions of incremental learnings. Today, SpaceX are reimagining how those learnings can be applied in new ways, which is unlocking a new business model for spaceflight. Now, zooming back in, it's not quite as grand, but the same rules do apply for any shortcut or business hack. They are solutions that have been found and forged by others who've done the hard yards. And here's the thing, they do work. But being able to execute is contingent on two factors. A, you having some skill in the background expertise those shortcuts rely on, and B, your ability to commit. The painful part is how these hacks and shortcuts can make you feel. The impact can feel diminishing because they reveal a bunch of stuff you don't know, making you consciously incompetent. But this realization is dramatically important because it helps you discover where to look and who to learn from. And that's what can be great about this guru crowd, because the processes they present reveal the categories and areas of skill that you need to grow in. However, the answer might not be to buy their offer immediately. For example, I fully intend to buy Russell Brunson's ClickFunnels 2.0 down the line, but I plan to lean into learning areas first, start experimenting, and circle back later when I feel I can maximize the investment. Of course, there's plenty of sales pressure to take the shortcut now, but for me at least, that would feel like going off-road before I've learned to drive. You can also see how conscious incompetence is leveraged by the myriad of microlearning apps available for smartphones. Indeed, most of the ads are designed to reveal something you don't know or show you a puzzle you can't solve. The frustration or desire that creates in you drives you into the first part of their sales process. Again, they work if you can commit, and they do a great job of responding to conscious incompetence and taking you through a journey of bite-sized chunks to conscious competence. Mastery, however, or unconscious competence is reserved for immersion. Think about language apps. The only way you can master a language is to engage in free-flowing dialogue with native speakers. We can leverage the framework that I'm showing you on screen right now, the 4 stages of competence, to triage the hacks and shortcuts coming our way and assess whether the hack or framework is worth the distraction. You may find that you are consciously competent in lots of the skills the framework requires of you, in which case the decision to move ahead might be really straightforward. If not, take note of what's being proposed and what feels new. Isolate parts of the process that you can explore, research, and experiment with, so you can build a base level of understanding. Like the learning apps, turn the journey into bite-sized chunks. At this stage, you may only be adding to the list of things you don't know yet, but at the very least, you're revealing what you need to know for any new shortcut to be effective. And that might be enough to allow you to move forward with confidence. Here's the easy way to do X can often leave us feeling disempowered or discouraged. Without experience and muscle memory and a conscious awareness of what we don't know, or the micro learnings to call on, it just won't translate into action at first. And it certainly won't feel like a shortcut to massive progress as our wheels spin and we wrestle with what we don't yet understand. You don't know what you don't know, and you might need to spend some time forging the required experience for yourself before you can leverage a shortcut, find a foothold, and achieve some progress. And here's the hard truth about incremental learning. It's often not very clear when they will align to unlock massive progress. It's common to feel frustrated that the time has been wasted on learnings, jobs, or projects that don't immediately feel useful. But your brain is a subconscious powerhouse, able to knit your learnings and experiences together in new and surprising ways, often when you least expect it. Consider the smell that recalls a memory or the task you suddenly found easy after you've taken a break. Your learnings and experiences will align in new ways. And when they do, you'll experience a sudden rush of acceleration. When something just clicks, you have the solution on the team call, or you have that killer creative idea ready to roll for the next pitch. That breakthrough moment can feel like you've discovered a shortcut, but I assure you, it's really the result of your sweat and investment over time. Like me, you may be at a crossroads in your career. Perhaps you're trying a few hacks that hold promise for you, but you're not sure yet which ones are really worth your attention. Or perhaps you're starting something new and the range of tasks you've taken on feel disconnected. Perhaps the path forward feels uncertain. If that resonates, hear me when I say that each of the experiences and incremental learnings you are currently investing time in has value and will benefit you in time. For now, it might comfort you to remember that while you might be hungry for massive progress, you can give yourself permission to be in an incremental phase. Allow yourself to ignore some of the pitches and ignore some of the guru lead magnets. Firstly, you might not have the bandwidth to handle massive progress today, and you might need to build the right mental muscles first. Secondly, the path forward might not be clear yet because you're trying to skip the learning phase, which is foundational for maintaining any momentum. Clarity will come. In reality, massive progress orbits incremental earnings. You can't have the former without the latter, which brings us full circle. If you're hungry for massive progress, remember this mantra and repeat it to yourself when the frustration sets in. The increment is the way. And don't just sweat the small stuff, celebrate it. After all, moon landings are made of the 1%, the marginal gain, and the collective power of incremental learnings. And big things lie ahead for the patient.